Offer good ganking. It looks like we're going to be going with Shire here. No big surprise. This map, I don't know, a lot of teams seem to really like this map and playing it competitively. I don't know if they think they can come back in it, if they think it offers like a variety of strategies, some nice zone control, some nice gank opportunities, but a lot of teams really seem to like this Shire, and we seem to be seeing a lot of it lately.
We really do. And with that being said, Glaurung has shown since this is one of his first appearances since he left Tempo Storm. His Kerrigan is still as strong as ever, especially with his shot calling. Kael'thas being the first to be banned from Team Blaze. I don't know if they caught that Glaurung is on the other team, and they want to make sure he doesn't get Kerrigan.
Yeah, that would make some degree of sense, one would think. I mean, that Kerrigan is absolutely terrifying on Shire, so it's definitely going to be something to watch out for in this pick ban.
It really is, and we've seen the same bans over and over and over again tonight. We've seen Kael'thas, Brightwing being banned because of her global presence, because of that promote. What do you think Team Blaze is going to go for as a composition?
Team Blaze, I don't know. I would like to see. Well, I mean, one option is to always take the Kerrigan for yourself, right? If you have somebody who's confident to go for it, I don't know if it's first pick worthy, but it's something you can do. You can always just try and build up some nice counter engage. Obviously, Emerald Wind taken away makes it a little bit harder, but I actually like this Uther first pick. It's kind of expecting, hey, okay, you're going to go for that ganking to do against us. You're going to take that Kerrigan, you're going to take that lockdown, but we're just going to take the Divine Shield and use it well and be able to combat you and counter engage.
Definitely. And we saw that last game where it worked out really, really well for Kappa Wolves and Just End It. But they, in the end, Just End It turned it around and was able to fight around the control that Kappa Wolves is going for. But now as Team Blaze, and Blaze hasn't played against Just End It quite yet, it's going to be interesting to see what they can do. I mean, they pick up the Nubarak, which we've been seeing is more prevalent in the current meta, but it all depends on the rest of their composition.
Yeah, absolutely. Something Kappa Wolves went for, I think, last game that I thought was a little bit odd was the Illidan pick combined with everything else they were doing. We saw multiple times, from what I remember, Illidan kind of got shut down and forced out of the fight, but he wasn't killed. He just he had to leave and he couldn't come back in because he was too low on hit points. If that had been a ranged character, a ranged damage dealer, this all could have worked out much better because after Just End It had blown their engage, and then the ranged character gets out alive, instead of Illidan getting out alive, they can stick around and they can still contribute to the fight from a more safe distance than Illidan can. So maybe if we don't see anything like that out of Blaze, they'll do better.
Exactly. And we see Lost Vikings pick up by Team Blaze. I mean, Lost Vikings are a fantastic pick, especially if you split them up, but it's going to be difficult to deal with now that they have Kerrigan and Tyrande for Just End It. And Murden. They have so much lockdown for Just End It right now. It is kind of crazy.
Yeah, that's really intense stuns over there. They're really looking to just blow somebody up and then move on in like a 5v4 for the rest of the fight is what it looks like right now. Blaze is going to have a hard time working around that, and they're going to have to rely on really solid positioning, not getting bunched up to make sure they don't just get burst out of these fights.
Oh, for sure. And I mean, like, looking at the composition that Team Blaze has already, they do need to get some more damage on their side of things, and unfortunately they banned that Kael'thas and they went for Arterial. That's kind of interesting, man. They don't really have too much damage right now. They have Lost Vikings. Maybe they might be going for that shield type of thing, or maybe even Sanctification. I highly doubt it, but one can hope.
Yeah, Sanctification, I mean, we've seen weirder things before, right? Divine Shield Sanctification, just say, all right, well, your entire engage did nothing, but that is so difficult to pull off. And if the other team just walks away, well, you're down 2 ults for nothing. And so it's very interesting, taking both a Nubarak and Tyrael. It almost feels like they want to dive even harder than their opponents do at this point. They want to get to that Jaina, they want to get to that Tyrande and shut them down, but I don't know how that's going to work out against the Just Ended composition.
Definitely.
Falstad being the last thing picked up, though. What do you think about that?
The Falstad pick, I wasn't really expecting that. They did need some good damage, but then we see them off here, and Just End It has pretty much stuck to the same composition in the past 2 games that we've seen them in. So it's going to be really, really interesting to see what Team Blaze can do against it, as we just saw Kappa Wolves try their best, and they faltered. They were not able to take it out.
Yeah, absolutely. Honestly, it looks like both teams are just going to try and burst each other out and see how that goes. That's It's really interesting seeing the Tyrael Falstad combo come out as the last two picks for Blaze, and especially in my opinion.
Definitely. And if I could get you to type in the chat in game real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Alrighty. So, I mean, we know what Just End It's going to go for. They're going to go for that solid initiation. They're going to go for that super, super aggressive play. Try to just get as many ganks off as they can throughout the time, throughout the period of the game. What do you think Team Blaze will do to kind of work around the Kerrigan initiation?
Yeah, I'm honestly not sure. It looks like they're going to want to be able to hold off some of it with the Uther. He's got the burst heals. He's got the divine shield. But it still doesn't feel like they have a definite plan with this composition besides we want to Tyrael Falstad into something and blow it up. I still just feel like both teams, they're looking to find those picks in this awkward way. But that for Blaze, it comes at the team fight phase, right? Until then, it feels like they're just going to have to try and hold on somehow, have Falstad in the top lane, maybe everybody else helping out together, making sure that they're soaking all the lanes and not really trying to pick too much of a fight at the start, because Just Ended, it looks like, will just shut them down with some easy to land stuns and that extra burst from Tehran's D. I'm very concerned. I don't know. Team Blaze, they've got a weird composition. Maybe they'll be able to make it work, but it's weird for a reason. Not a lot of people, I feel like, would have gone for something like that right now.
Definitely. I mean, as we wait for the players to get in the lobby and everything so we can start up this match, I'm looking at how Team Blaze, like with Kerrigan jumping in, they have to disengage at some point because they don't want to get stunned. Mm-hmm. I mean, the target they're probably going to go after is Uther or the Vikings, because every other hero has a way of getting out of there.
Definitely. Although, I mean, there's just so much stun over for Just End It. They could jump on almost anybody. Maybe we want to avoid the Tyrael, but pretty much anybody else. If they time their CC correctly, they will be able to just shut that person out of the fight. So you're looking at, I mean, a Nubarak, yeah, he's a tank, but he's a pretty low HP tank. If you can bring him down, especially before he's thrown that shield up, he's easy to pick off. Falstad, if you keep him stun locked, he has super low health pool. He's easy to pick off. It's just, if they can get any one of these characters locked down, realistically, they're going to fall over dead.
Definitely. I mean, that's another thing you got to watch out for. We've seen Team Blaze play. They're very, very good at playing coordinated, like a coordinated style play. And as we've talked about before on Nexus Mayhem, is that teams that have played together for a little while usually have an advantage over teams that haven't played it together. It's one of those games where team play is the most important thing you can look at. Like, if you look at League of Legends or something like that, you can always have that one person that is pretty much carrying the team on their back. You can't do that in Heroes.
Yeah, definitely not as easily. That's for sure. But yeah, if Team Blaze, I mean, if they have that coordination down, as you say, they've been working together longer, Just Ended, obviously very recently picking up Glaurung and the like. If they have that coordination down, then they may be able to actually pull this off. But Just Ended has a far more simple game plan in a lot of ways. We're just going to go in and kill you. Very easy to understand, maybe a lot less difficult to execute, despite the fact that they haven't been together all that long as a full composition.
Definitely. As we wait for the team members to get in here and lock down their heroes so we can begin the first game of the finals, best of 3, round number 1 of Team Blaze versus Just End It. We've seen the resurgence of Glaurung. He's back again playing, this time on a different team. Playing very, very well. It seems like Just End It is on the up and up, trying to take their place among the top teams right now.
Yeah. Well, and you can't discount the fact that Just Ended, they did just take out the reigning champs for a month straight of Nexus Mayhem. And so they are definitely on the up and up right now. They've got to be on a bit of a high coming off of that win as well, taking down those champions, the guys who have been winning consistently. They're going to have a nice mental boost moving into this final series for this tournament.
Definitely. And as we are about to hop in here, I'm excited. How about you, man? I really, really want to see this game. Should be good.
Well, I'm quite excited. I'm ready to get going.
Alrighty, so we're gonna swap the in-game menu here.
Oh,
Alrighty,
man. So much anticipation.
if you want to introduce the blue team again, I would greatly appreciate it, sir.
We can go for that. So, once again, for Team Blaze, we're going to have Ayuda playing Falstad, Cladius on Anubarak, Tuggennuts on Tyrael, J-Kerp still covering the Vikings, and finally, we're substituting in Goku. He's going to be covering Uther for us.
And then over here on Just End It, we're going to have Tiger JK on the Toronto, Horsepants on Malfurion, B-Kid on Murden, Glaurung, of course, on that terrifying Kerrigan, and Chewate on Jaina. So,
Alright.
we're probably going to see them go for that early aggression in the mid lane like we saw before, just right there. What do you expect?
Well, I expect exactly what we're seeing right now. Immediately, both teams kind of heading there. It looks like the red team, our Just End It team, is going to get there first. Set up a nice little scouting drone. J-Kerp's trying to sneak in with that Eric. He's really trying to set up so he can get vision there, but he's immediately going to get punished for it and taken down. Not the way you want to start the game for Team Blaze.
It really isn't. I mean, right off the bat, one of their Vikings gets taken out, does have to respawn, gives them a slight XP advantage over on the side of Just End It, but as you can see, they're just going for that constant aggression like we saw last time with Capwolves. They're just trying to get as much in as they can, going for those ganks every possible chance.
Absolutely. Scouting drone does get brought down, but it should get replaced soon. J-Kerps just has not been able to set up for the vision the way he's wanted to so far this game, and really Just End It is expressing their dominance right now, just going from lane to lane, saying if you get anywhere close to us, we will just go ahead and kill you.
Yeah, it's basically like, hey guys, this is our game. You're going to play it the way we want, not the other way around.
Exactly. All right, shrines are coming up. I don't imagine that we're going to see much of a contest for this bottom shrine, but this top shrine might be a bit more interesting. Mirrodin's been pushed in pretty far. Falstad's going to be able to swing on in there first, but I don't know if he's going to be able to hold it for all that long.
Oh, definitely. We have Tyrael just going into the bushes, just trying to be like, hey guys, we're kind of hopping in and out here. Meanwhile, Tiger JK is walking around J-Curse and doesn't really know that he's there quite yet. Might be... Oh, and Goku does go down early on.
Absolutely. Just a little bit out of position, you'll go down to that Kerrigan.
Yeah, Kerrigan, like we've said before, Kerrigan is one of those you got to be extremely careful with. Like, positions like that, force Claudius to use his bro charge to get out of there, because otherwise it would have been lights out.
Absolutely. Still doesn't look like Red is actually interested in the dragon anytime soon, and that doesn't really surprise me too much. They're keeping control of the bottom shrine just fine. No real effort made for the top shrine yet. They kind of want to just keep playing hero against hero and see if they can just keep getting these kills to keep snowballing this game. Already picked up a couple, and I think they'll just keep looking for more until we really start heading into these later stages, level 7, level 10.
Definitely. And I mean, you got to keep in mind that Horsepants is down here just guarding that middle or bottom lane, soaking on the experience as much as he can. Glaurung, Tiger JK, and Chewate are just trying to keep them from getting that Dragon Knight. Like, you have Chewate right there. They let them get that, and that was a mistake. And the reason that is because Chewate did not see J-Kerp's Lost Viking right there because of that stealth. That was huge.
He just lost focus for one moment, and immediately a dragon over to Team Blaze. They should be able to at least get part of this wall down with this, but once again, an early dragon, it's really hard to make good use of this, especially still against that heavy pressure coming from the red team. However, Glaurung gets caught out. He's down to half HP at this point. Going to use a nice little Q to get on out of there, and he's going to make it out safe, but very dangerous, and maybe giving this dragon just a little bit of extra pressure from falling so low.
Definitely. And Horsepants is out of position here. Gets really, really low, but he's able to get out there just in time. Claudius taking quite a bit of damage. Goku is about to go down. Does manage to get taken out by Glaurung and his Horsepants crew. It looks like... Oh, and Kerrigan is knocked over the wall and almost gets taken out. And, of course, Anubarak is going to be taken out as well. J-Kerp's trying to get out of there with his Lost Vikings, but he's taking quite a bit of damage. It doesn't look like he's going to be able to get out of there with Eric, and he doesn't. But... the other Vikings should be able to get there pretty easily. Tuggennuts just trying to push him off as much as he can. Gets taken out because of his...
falls too.
Yeah, he's a little bit too aggressive there.
Absolutely, and that's exactly what we were talking about earlier. It's just the sheer early game power of this Just End It team is so terrifying. And Blaze may be feeling a little bit confident. They got Glaurung low. They had the opportunity to go in after someone else as well, but just gets turned around on them immediately. So much stun coming out from Just End It makes it so easy to turn that fight on its head, despite the dragon, and pick up a couple more clean kills.
Definitely, and the Vikings are able to dodge that route by Malfurion in the bottom lane because of his jump ability. And it looks like Claudius and Tuggenuts are taking out these Siege Giants in the bottom left and gaining a little bit of momentum in that bottom lane. Not that we saw something that we saw Just End It do before was they were able to control the Merc camps pretty handily because of the aggression they were putting on. Glaurung going in, trying to get the stun off on Tuggenuts, doesn't manage to happen. But Tyrande following up with that Lunar Flare and stunning Tyrael and taking him down.
Exactly. One stun, one cleanse, not enough. You have so much follow-up, but Tiger JK getting left out in the cold by his team. No real protection there. Now Glaurung's also looking kind of low. Doesn't look like they're going to manage to follow it up, and in fact, Uther will be the one to fall. They always just want a little bit more on Team Blaze, but they can't quite finish it up, so that's just going to be a one-for-one trade at the end of it.
It's something that they got to keep in mind. You're playing against a very, very good player that knows what to do. Like that dive, that Q, the Ravage actually was spot on. He knew if I Q this, I'm going to be able to get in there, kill him, and get out.
Absolutely. And then Blaze in their chase, they just got grouped up, all got stunned out at the same time. There's really no excuse for 3 players getting hit by a Kerrigan stun. You got to be real close together to make that happen.
Exactly. You have to make sure you're spread out at all times, especially when a Kerrigan's there trying to engage on you.
Level 10 advantage over to Team Just End It right now. They have decided to use this to try and get pressure on these shrines, see if they can take a dragon. At minimum, this is forcing Team Blaze to move around the map a bit and allowing Just End It to go ahead and pick up knights, just trying to turn pressure into pressure. And the Vikings are going to get stunned out by Tyrande and taken down by the Tyrande Malfurion combo. This might allow that bot shrine to get picked up by Team Just End It and see if they can keep getting closer and closer to that big objective to make a real push happen. If there's one team their team lacks, it's push.
And like you said earlier, like they are not worried about the Dragon Knight at the moment. They're like, okay, guys, we have this early game advantage. Just keep pushing it, keep pushing it, keep pushing it. And when we can get a Dragon Knight for sure, we'll go for it. And they're trying to get that bottom shrine to get that Dragon Knight. But Muradin, meanwhile, is top, grabbing that shrine to keep it away from him. Tiger J8 is taken out by a 5-man Gate squad down the bottom, and so does Kerrigan. Chew8 trying to do whatever he can to get out of there, and he's going to be able to get out of there with the skin of his teeth.
Absolutely. Tiger JK just way out of position once again, trying to hold on to that shrine when it really wasn't necessary, and paying for it with the lives of herself and then another team member. Not the way you want to go, and we've evened up this game 11-11, and that is not a good sign for Just End It. They have a lot of early game power, and they want to keep snowballing that. If they can't do it, they might get into trouble in the late game.
And it looks like they have their entire team rotating up to top to try to prevent them from doing that. Jaina, meanwhile, is down here in the mid lane, just trying to protect the Dragon Knight, make sure it doesn't get taken by Team Blaze, but it could end up like it did last time, and that little Viking just sneaking in there and taking it from him.
Yeah, let's hope Chew's paying a little bit more attention this time. Just absolutely make certain that dragon doesn't come out. All right. Whoa, big gank coming in on Goku here. He was really wanting to get that dragon, but he's going to be forced to Divine Shield just to get on out of there, and that's going to be an ultimate cooldown gone in case a fight actually comes up around these shrines and this dragon.
Definitely. They're just all posturing around that Dragon Knight, just trying to make sure that they can at least prevent Team Blaze from grabbing it. And Tyrael going in on top of Glaurung. Glaurung in a lot of trouble here. Has to pop Maelstrom. Gets taken out by Oda and Claudius.
And the Dragon Knight gets picked up during all of this, by the way. Looks like the team fight's kind of cooling down. It was a good engage from Tuggenuts with the dive from the Judgment, follow-up from a Nubarak, and the whole time they also managed to get the Dragon Knight with a Viking. That's just a fantastic, quick little play out of Team Blaze, and it's going to allow them to get 13. They've got the Dragon. They're taking a fort. They're in a really good spot all of a sudden in this game.
They really are, and I mean, they have to keep pressing the advantage. Like we've said before, you don't want to be the reactionary team. You want to be the aggressor. You want to be controlling what your enemies are doing.
Exactly. One thing about Heroes of the Storm, the fact that you can do that, you can force your opponents to make plays they don't particularly want to. It looks like the team Just Ended. They're trying to make something happen, getting some stuns down, but they just having trouble engaging past this Dragon Knight. Finally, Glaurung goes deep, but completely misses with everything. He might get picked off here, but Tuggenuts is focused in the back line. Going to be diving so hard. Shrink Ray onto Glaurung. He's finally going to go down. Tyrael gets Divine Shielded, and he will make it out of there. Judge is back in onto the Malfurion. but that ultimate already running, going to keep him nice and healthy. Finally, the longboat comes out. We've got a 2-for-1 trade so far, as Team Blaze It is going to be pushing in to this bottom lane wall.
Yeah, it's exactly what they don't want to do. They don't want to give them any more than what they already have. Team Blaze is already a level ahead. If they let them get any further, it's going to be really difficult for Team Just End It to recover. They need to make sure that they don't lose that lead.
Absolutely. Giant's going to be picked up for Team Blaze. No big surprise. Just a nice little pickup when you're on the way out from that bot lane push on Dragonshire for sure. And it looks like they're just going to be looking to regroup. We're going to have a little bit of a lull here. So we can go ahead and maybe look at talents. We see a lot of sprints coming down for Team Just In It, but also an ice block on Jaina. Definitely worried about that Tyrael and Nubarak dive, it looks like, and wants to shut it down the best she can.
Something you really have to be careful about when fighting against a team like this is that Tyrael isn't really in the current meta. Like, he's been coming out a little bit more since the other warriors are getting changed. His initiation power is just so brutal, especially when diving onto someone. Yeah,
absolutely. I also find it interesting. We've got Burning Rage on both Tyrael and Nubarak, so they're going for some pretty hefty damage there instead of something like the Spell Shield on a Nubarak to maybe resist being blown up. So they are truly going with the, okay, you're going to engage on us. We're just going to engage on you and kill you first. Both teams really just aiming for that strategy. Whoa, a nice stun out of Glaurung there. It's going to get this team fight started. A huge Falstad ultimate. That is so much damage over into Just End It. The longboat also just firing on down. Looks like the Malfurion ult Tranquility is coming out just a bit late, and that's already 2 nice clean kills over for Team Blaze once again, and they are not done. Tyrael wants to go a little bit farther, but he's not going to make it. They're going to go ahead and disengage right about now as the Dragon Shrines are going to come on up, and Team Blaze might have a very easy dragon right here and now.
They still have about 10 seconds before anyone or the other 2 members of Just End It are back up. Falstad flying up that top lane, and the Vikings already ready to go on grabbing that Dragon Knight. And that's exactly what's going to happen. They're not going to be able to defend it. They're going to get that 3rd Dragon Knight of the game. Is it 3rd? No. Is it?
Yeah, 3rd Dragon Knight.
3rd Dragon Knight, yeah.
Absolutely. Falstad definitely showing his power right there. That fly, that is why you pick up Falstad, even on a map like this. It can be so important to be able to get into position very, very quickly. And now we've got a lot of pressure coming down on this mid keep. Level 16 talent advantage also available for Team Blaze right now. Just In It is in a lot of trouble here.
Yeah, it could be huge if they were able to swing a fight here at any second. Like, they need to do something now to be able to pull this back. They have a fort going, inner fort about to go down. If they can't defend this push, it might be really difficult for them to come back. But then again,
series of stuns coming out. Wow, that was really interesting. Falstad falling so low, but the follow-up just wasn't there. Nobody's actually fallen yet. Everybody's been throwing around everything they can, but no one's managed to actually pick up a kill. Everybody kind of being very careful, playing a bit safe. They know even just one kill could snowball this game incredibly at this point, with both teams sitting around level 16.
Definitely. Once Glaurung and his team, like the rest of the team, hits level 16, they're gonna get blood for blood. Like, it's one of those abilities that can be severely game changing, especially considering that both Claudius and Tuggenuts have both super high health heroes, like comparatively to assassins and everything like that. Goku getting stunned does manage to get out alive, and everyone's just gonna go back to doing everything like normal, going for those merc camps, trying to make sure that they have that aggression.
Yeah. What a huge series of plays, though. You just got to say, Just End It, engaging down into this bottom area below bot lane earlier. Definitely a huge problem. We want to see them stop diving into these small chokes against a team relying on that Falstad burst in particular, because they're just going to keep getting blown up again and again and again. And Malfurion Tranquility is not going to keep you alive through massive amounts of burst damage. If you can stay alive for it, if you can spread out, make sure you're not all getting thrown down by that Falstad ultimate that's going to be overdrived, by the way. Very interesting pickup from Falstad there. Then you can be okay, but they've really got to stop clumping up in these fights.
Yeah, you really don't see the overdrive much anymore. You usually see a little bit of a different style of play coming from Falstads, especially because with the current meta, like, big bursty damage abilities aren't really what people are aiming for anymore. They're going for the just consistency. They're going for that consistent damage.
Absolutely. So that was very interesting to see, especially combined with the giant killer pickup. Clearly a just indicating that Muradin might be a bit of a problem at some point, and we want to make sure he doesn't get too out of control. Another fort dropping in the top lane. Team Blaze really definitely in control of this one. 2 levels up. Things are not looking good for Just End It, and Blaze might be pressuring into these knights here. They have dragons to pick up momentarily. They've really just got anything they want to do on this map. They can go ahead and do it.
It's definitely something they really need to be careful of their positioning here, because if they're in a bad position and they're trying to like get some momentum back in their favor, they need to make sure that the other team doesn't get the Dragon Knight, and that's exactly what they're trying to do at the moment. They're putting more and more pressure on the Just End It, trying to get them to make mistakes, and Glaurung used his rake and didn't get anyone in it. So it's a cooldown that's going to be down for a few seconds, and that could be the time for them to engage, and that's what we're seeing right here. We're seeing Tyrael go on top of Jaina, Ice Block being popped, Malfurion popping Ice Block as well, getting taken down really, really quickly. Divine Shield going on top of Tyrael. Tyrael's pretty safe at the moment. Beacon taking a lot of damage. Glaurung is in trouble as well. That Viking Longboat raid is just doing so much damage right now. It doesn't look like they're going to be able to recover, and that looks like it's going to be game. I mean, there's nothing they can do at this point to recover. They have 3 people down for 30-plus seconds.
This could easily be game right here. Just these fights going exactly how Team Blaze wanted them to. The Divine Shield to stop the burst from the other team, getting their Falstad burst down onto targets, actually getting kills there. Because if you can get those kills, you can easily shut down your opponents. And Team Blaze is just going to pick up the first game in this series very, very nicely at level 20.